Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man.
Big news and friends.
What's happening, Bobby, Eric, and Robert? Um, so I gotta make a confession. The first thing is that I finally felt a fear pressure, and I got myself an EMAC Truth.
Pressure.
To be specific, 176 Biofusion Truth. And the thing is, I love it. It flies great, super straight with a nice, like, one, two fade at the max if you're going by flight numbers. So then my problem kind of becomes is that I kind of already have a mid-range setup, but this Truth kind of really sits in a place that it almost takes both the mid-ranges that I currently have out of my bag. So I was just kind of wondering, when you find a disc that you really like, how do you decide that this is definitely going to take another disc out of my bag? And like what kind of processes do you put that disc through to finally make that decision? And then also, Eric, if you wouldn't mind, send me like 1,000 EMAC truths. Thanks.
I bet he wouldn't mind.
Right. But unfortunately, he's not here.
Ah.
And once you ask your question, it's over with.
It's gone
So
forever.
you'll never know if he'll send you that 1,000.
And unless he listens to this, he'll never know.
So that's actually a very good question because new discs are coming out all the time from every manufacturer out there. How does one decide? How do you decide when something new comes out? Like the Getaway, we were talking about it earlier.
Right.
I mean, everybody's excited about the Getaway. I guess, how do you decide whether it's really filling a hole that you've been waiting for, or you're like, this could take place of two different discs. Should I keep the two different discs or go with the one?
Right. It's kind of a tough one. I mean, there are a couple different philosophies on it. Actually, there are several different philosophies, but the kind of the main ones are you should carry as many discs as you can if you know what they all do, and so that you're prepared for every situation. Or there are people who think if I have one disc that can do what several discs will do, I just need to carry that one disc because I'll know that better. I've thrown that in more circumstances. And so I don't think either one is necessarily right or wrong. It really just depends on your preference and how you play. If I was going to test it against where I'd throw those other two molds, if you're looking to have that EMAC Truth replace those other two molds, then I would go play a course that you're really, really super familiar with. And instead of throwing those two, take those out of your bag and only put in the EMAC Truth and just see if you still feel comfortable with it, because you can throw it in a field all you want to, and you'll get a similar flight, everything like that. But where it really counts is on the course, when you're throwing lines that you need to throw, when you're counting on the stability that you need it to be. I think that's a great way to test it out. What else would you say?
I kind of fall towards if you can cover everything with less discs, do it. I think I carry like 19 discs in my bag.
Sure.
But like you said, take out those two discs that it would be replacing, put that one in. And if you feel like there's no shot that you can't execute or there's no hole, then you're good.
Right.
But if one of them that you're trying to replace is like a Justice and you're just finding, well, it's just not cutting it, well, then maybe put that one back in and take out the other one. But yeah, like you said, there's two different ways you could do it. Either keep all of them or take them out. I like to take them out.
Yeah.
It's less work for you while you're walking.
Yeah, no
walking
doubt.
down the fairways and stuff.
No doubt about that. One thing that I like to do when you're working through molds and stuff like this is just confidence. The more that you throw that disc, if you become more confident that you can rely on that, I want to throw the disc that I have the most confidence in. It could be a great disc. Everybody could throw it really well. But if it's not going to work for me, I don't want to throw that disc.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I'm confident in it, I will replace other discs with that one because I feel like when I hold it in my hand, I'm going to throw a good shot. And that takes care of the mental side. And I like that a lot.
I got a question for you, Robert.
Go.
Uh-oh, here it goes.
How do you go about adding a disc to your bag? Do you go out on the course and say, man, I just don't have anything for whatever this shot is? Or do you say, okay, the Getaway is coming out, I got to try it, and then you really like it? Do you say, okay, now I'm going to test it against my Convict? Or do you say, man,
Sure.
the Convict just doesn't fade hard enough, I need something a little bit more stable?
Yeah, good question. If it's new releases or just a different disc of one that I already carry in the bag, if I want to know what it's like, the absolute first thing I'll do is go out in the field and throw it. I want to know in unadulterated setting, what will this disc do, right? And so I'll go test that. And if I like it, then I'll take it out to the course and usually throw, say if it's something like the Getaway, I'll throw the Getaway on a shot. I would always throw the Convict on, throw both, and just see which one I prefer. And if that new disc doesn't just straight out beat the other disc for me, then I'm keeping the other disc because it's one I already know.
How long do you give it? Do you take maybe a week or
yeah,
is it within a couple throws?
Several rounds. I mean, I carry a cart now because I'm getting old. My knees are definitely getting old, like older and older every day. So I can carry a few extra discs, and so I'll keep that in my cart for a week, 2 weeks, however many rounds I feel like I need to test it out. And as long as I'm getting those consistent, like, this is interesting, then I'll keep it in there. Once it betrays me once and I know I didn't throw a bad shot, if I hit the line I wanted and it just didn't do what I wanted it to, then it's out. But if it doesn't do that, then keep thinking about it.
Okay.
So that'll be the process for the Getaway and the Maverick this next year.
Well, the Maverick is easy.
Yeah.
It should already be in your bag.
Yeah. I just don't know if I'll keep an Escape in there or not. Because they're different speed ranges and honestly different kind of flight shapes, but they're close enough that at least the ones that I throw, that
How about you go with Escape and I'll take the Mavericks?
You just
And we
keep
can
all
just-
that. Okay,
yep.
deal.
Good.
Sounds good.
Sweet.